This is BNG TV.
We're joined now in studio. I've been looking forward to this all week long. John Caparulo, good morning.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Sorry about getting you up.
Yeah. We're gonna fight after this.
I've been doing the radio thing for a while, and it took me a minute to get used to the morning schedule myself. But then when the comics started coming in, when I used to do afternoons,
right?
It's fine, waking up, you have a beer, you come in, do the show, and then you see them in the morning, and they're like, "Why?" Like, I don't care if people come to my show.
I mean,
much.
It really, it's weird. Like, I've always been like this, like a night, and it's not like, I was, out with coke and whores all night. I mean, it's just, it's like, I just stay up late,
right,
because you're used to it after a show, but it's like, yeah, I get up in the morning for radio, and I'm like, hey, if I wanted to do this, I'd have become a farmer, like, if I wanted to get up this early.
Now, you're here in the Midwest. You're actually a Midwestern guy. You're living in L.A. now.
Yeah.
And I know one of the things that jumped off the page to me, and I'd seen one of your specials. I don't remember how long ago it was your 30-minute Comedy Central special.
Yeah.
When you started talking about being a Browns fan.
Oh, yeah.
Lifelong Lions fan.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's so funny, like to go, like, because now I go around the country and I tell people, I'm a Browns fan. Like, if you tell people you're a Giants fan or a Cowboys fan, people they get offended and they flex on you. You
right.
Tell them you're a Browns or I imagine a Lions fan.
Yeah.
It's like you just told them you have a terminal disease. It's like they feel sorry for you. Like, oh, sorry. How long do you have to live? Till the end of the regular season, I guess. I don't. It's but it's it kind of shapes who you are. It's probably why I'm a comedian. I actually grew up closer to Pittsburgh, but I grew up on the Ohio side, and I really wish my parents would have steered me toward their games. And I'd be a lot happier man right now. So it's a tough way to live.
Yeah, I experienced that on this side of the state. I grew up just north of Detroit.
Yeah,
and that was it. With my dad, there were 4 teams. You didn't get to choose who you were a fan of.
Right.
If you were going to cheer for another team, you were going to do it in the yard.
Right.
And that was it. And then you come over here, and it's close to Chicago, and it's close to Indianapolis, and so people choose. And when your team sucks, like Detroit has sucked for so long,
right,
they'll choose somebody else. I almost didn't get married for that reason. My wife was like, I like the Bulls and Duke and the Yankees, and I don't like football, but if I had to pick a team, it'd be Notre Dame. I'm like, all right, well, we're done.
Yeah, it's that's the thing, though, is like, ever since the Browns moved in 95, like, I became more of like, it's like I wish them well, but it's like, I've lived in L.A. since 99, and it's just like, the thing I found out was like, I got the satellite package, and I watch all the games on. I just decided it's like, I want the Browns to do well, and when they start doing well, I'm going to support that. But until then, I'm not letting you ruin my Sunday anymore. It's just like, because really, like, my mom still makes fun of me about, like, after John Elway's drive in the '86 playoffs, like, she found me in a closet crying. It's like, and then Biner's fumble basically made it so I just never trusted anybody ever again, and it was like I just think that for me, like, with sports, it's like it's become like I like to watch it, and I don't like to miss out on good stuff just because I'm like my dad still is just mad about the Browns. Like did you see that game between the Colts and the Patriots? Can you believe this? The Browns lose 6-3 on a late. I'm like, why did you watch a game that went to 6-3? So it's I'm like, I'm a Browns fan at heart, but I'm a big fan of the whole NFL. So I just try to watch and enjoy it.
Comedian John Caparulo joining us in studio. He will be at Dr. Grin's at the Bob all weekend long. We've got some tickets coming up. Shows at 8 and 10:30 tonight, 8 and 10:30 again tomorrow. And being from Ohio, you follow college. Are you a Buckeyes fan?
No. That's the thing people assume.
Sure.
Because I'm from Ohio. And I think my growing up in Ohio made me less of an Ohio State fan because, I was around Ohio State fans all the time. And, it's just like, you just get sick of it because it's like it's everybody, Like, I don't. Why are you? Why are you here? Why are you cheering so hard for the Buckeyes? Like, you didn't even go to high school. You know, like, why are you that into this team? I'm just used to. I mean, I went to Kent State, which is obviously it's not. We're technically Division I, just so some teams can pad their record. But I mean, it's not like. I mean, Kent State always was like. I mean, like we weren't. I was always jealous of my friends who went to schools that had, you know, like good sports programs that they could go root for and get all. Kent State didn't have that. Like, we had the only good athletes we ever got, like at Kent State, were like guys who were like supposed to go to Ohio State, but then they like robbed somebody, and then they ended up on our team, you know. And it was like, oh yeah, we got that one guy when he gets out on parole. But I mean, you know, we didn't have a good sports race, so it was just like Ohio State fans they just pissed me off. So it was I always, you know, when it comes to Ohio State, Michigan, I always root for Michigan because that was one of the only, you know, that was really one of the only college teams I was ever into was the Fab Five, and so it was like I you know. No, I'm not an Ohio State fan.
So the parolee thing carries over to your fanship.
Well, exactly. I mean, that was a fun team to watch. I mean, really, for 92 and 93, it was like, oh my God, their shoes are black. These guys are felons. Let's watch this.
John Caparulo live in studio, getting ready for a weekend stay at Dr. Grins at the Bob because your manager doesn't get weather.com on their internet connection.
I
apparently,
love how they plot my schedule here. Yeah.
No, we were talking about it. You're headed down to North Texas around the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'll be right outside Dallas for the Super Bowl, and then I got tickets actually to the Super Bowl this year, so I'm actually going to the game. So
you're not going to sell those and like buy a car?
I thought about it. You know, like I mean, because it honestly, like I mean, I have kind of a man crush on Brady and Belichick, so I was like hoping to see them, you know, go again, and that didn't work out. So, but I think. I think it'll be a good game. I mean, my dad's still mad at me just for the principle, the fact that I'm going to a Super Bowl that the Steelers are in.
Sure.
So, I mean,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, Thanksgiving isn't going to be that fun, but you know, I mean, it's I'm still, I think it'll be fun. It'll just be fun to. I don't know. I mean. It just bothers me that, like, you know, I mean, this is my first time going to a Super Bowl, but I mean, like, for the most part, you talk to the people who get to go to Super Bowls, and it just makes you mad. Like, I was talking to this guy when I was on Chelsea Lately recently. This guy, like, told me that he'd been to, like, 8 or 9 Super Bowls over the years. And I'm like, oh, man, that's awesome. And I'm like, which ones did you go? And he's like, oh, my favorite one was the one right after 9/11. And I'm like, oh, Super Bowl 36, where Vinatieri hit the field goal to beat the Rams. It was a big upset. He's like, oh, I don't know. I just remember U2 as the halftime show. I'm like, I will kill you. I mean, it's like, look, you get to go to a Super Bowl, one of the biggest upsets since Joe Namath, and all you remember is freaking Bono. I'm gonna stab you. So I mean, as a real football fan, I'm glad I'm getting to go to the game, but I know I'm going to get seated around people I want to punch. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's John Caparulo going to be at Dr. Grins at the Bob all weekend long, 8 and 10:30 tonight, 8 and 10:30 tomorrow. We got 2 tickets, your choice to show. Give us a call right now at 800-785-1073, 800-785-1073. You got a favorite number?
9.
All right, there you go. Easy enough. Well, I was going to go with Beiners, but that's just too mean.
Don't do that to me. Come on.
800-785-1073 is the number. Give a call, and appreciate you getting up this early, man.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're done here. Bakita and Gray, morning 6 to 9.